Thank you, Ed, and welcome back to AM Live. And I'm here with the very handsome John this morning.
Well, thank you.
And John's going to be talking about court-appointed special advocates. And please, and you've been around for 10 years, am I right? You've been doing this for 10 years?
The program has been here for 10 years. It started with Judge Harlan in 2004. The first volunteer got trained in 2005. And
Great.
We've managed to get about 75 people involved in the program over the course of the time, and
Wonderful.
Served over 134 kids so far.
That's great. That's very, very important. Tell our audience members how they can participate, and tell them about the program.
The program uses volunteers who we train to work with kids who have been abused or neglected, referred by the court. It's a court-appointed program. Mm-hmm. The court totally supports it, or we wouldn't have it. And we train the folks. We let them work with the kids, develop a relationship. Some of the greatest success stories are volunteers who are still best friends with their CASA child 30 years later.
That's great.
So that's the kind of relationship that can be developed. The program allows them to work depending on how much time they have. We have a lot of flexibility about how much time do you need to have. Mm-hmm. Other constraints that you might have, transportation issues or whatever. So we can handle a lot of different folks with their situations to use their skill sets to help these kids. And we're going to start a training class in September. Starts September the 14th, and I would be happy to have anybody who's interested give me a call. I can explain more about the program. We can talk about the training program. We can talk about how it works. I'll give them some examples of some great success stories. Great. And we'd be happy to have them.
Now, it's important to point out, too, John, that this program is so important because it makes young people know that there's somebody out there that cares, and that somebody is out there willing to give their time to help them. And cool. I think that that's very, very important because a lot of young people, they're put in situations and they're afraid, and they're afraid to reach out because they feel rejection. They don't want to feel the rejection, and they have to know that with this program there is no rejection.
That's exactly right. You hit it right on the head. When the kids get involved in the court process because of things that have happened to them, mm-hmm. over which they had no control,
that's right.
They may get removed from their home. In the middle of the night, the police come. They don't know what's going to happen. Right. They're scared. They don't know who to trust anymore. They don't know what's going to happen. And if they can have one person who's there just for them, who can spend the time with them, being their go-to person when they have questions, when they're concerned, when they're afraid, there's one person they know they can go to that they can trust and who's there to care for them. The reason the program got started originally was there was a judge up in Seattle who thought if he had one independent eye giving him information about the case, he would have a more well-rounded picture of what's going on. All the professionals are involved in doing a wonderful job, but he realized they don't have the time to spend with just one person. What if he had a volunteer who was well-trained, who had only one case? Mm-hmm. I might get some different information. The child might be able to feel more comfortable to share information. Somebody might be there to help them go through the maturation process and overcome whatever obstacles they have. For example, we've had volunteers who had children who had nobody to take them to explore colleges. When my daughter was going to school, we went from one end of the state to the other. Sure. We've got kids who don't have anybody that do that. We've had CASA volunteers who have taken kids from one end of the state to the other to look at colleges and try to make a career path. If they didn't have the CASA volunteer, what would they do?
Absolutely.
What would they do?
Absolutely.
Quote an old phrase.
John, let me ask you one question because they're telling us to round it up here pretty soon. What is the criteria, and who must these people talk to become a volunteer and to be a mentor?
There's two big requirements. They have to have a little bit of time and a lot of heart.
There you go.
If they've got that, they can come talk to me.
That's 99% of Amador County.
That's it.
There you go. And
so,
who do they call?
Call me, John.
Okay. And your
257-1980. Give me a jingle. We'll set up a time. We'll talk about it. If they feel that it's a good fit, we'll be happy to see them in our September 14th
Right. Now,
first
must
class.
they be 21?
21 is best, yes.
Because you want someone that is an adult. Correct?
Exactly, because of the life experiences
Right.
that they have already had that can relate to the kids' situations.
Great. John, give them your number again, please, because we want to make sure that everybody out there gets your number.
257-1980.
Great. And we want to let everybody know that this is a very, very important program and that it is something that is a lot of fun to do. And you'll be helping us some great kids. Thank you so much, John. We're going to take a very short break and we'll be right back.